Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for stopping by. And on today's episode of Best Seat in the House, we'll be discussing the results and reactions to No Mercy. The first match I want to discuss is the Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor match. This match was a very good fight. It was back and forth. Each competitor had their moments of domination, and I just want to say that I think Bray Wyatt is one of the best workers that WWE has in the company right now. But I don't feel like he's being utilized as effectively as he can be because of all these great. He has great matches, but yet he has little to nothing to show for it. So I just feel like so many other WWE stars right now, he's being underutilized. But anyways, to get into the match a little bit, I thought it was very physical, a great fight between two people that work together well. I do want to say that I believe that, and I'm not sure if other people have made this observation or not, but I do want to say that I believe that Bray Wyatt has a little bit of Mick Foley in him, because he seems to get better as the match goes on, and he enjoys inflicting pain almost as much as he seems to enjoy taking pain. So, like I said, I'm not sure if anyone else has made that observation before, but I think he's got a little bit of Mick Foley in him. Okay, the next one I want to discuss is the the John Cena and Roman Reigns match. Now, I respect the match, and I don't like the result, but the thing I don't like about this match is the fact that it's another attempt to put over a guy that doesn't necessarily deserve to be put over. I mean, how many times are you going to put him over? You had John Cena, The Undertaker, the other names slip my mind at the moment, but how many times are you going to push a guy? This is ridiculous, and I just don't see him being able to shoulder the burden of representing the entire company at any time in the future, or anything he's done. Nothing in the past that he's done has proven to me that he's worth the push and worth the time. And to me, he almost gives off the vibe of I'm entitled to this because of my lineage. Now, granted, he does have a good bloodline, and that particular bloodline has produced. You could start your own company with that bloodline alone, and I just think he's not gonna go anywhere because people say that was the passing of the torch, but you and I both know that he's not going to do anything with this opportunity, just like he's fucked up every other opportunity that he's been given to be the guy. I just don't freaking like it, and someone needs to slap the shit out of Vince McMahon. I think Triple H needs to slap the shit out of him, and they need to have a family meeting or something, because this is not a good direction for WWE to go or Raw to go, because on numerous occasions he's proven that he can't step up to the plate. He has great matches, but the one thing he lacks is being able to connect with the audience. I don't think he will ever connect to the audience, and the best example of him not being able to connect with the audience is it was either the lead up to the ambulance match or following the ambulance match. I'm pretty sure it was the lead up to it, but he just seems I got off track a little bit there. But at that, there was an incident on Raw where the crowd was chanting, "You deserve it." And at that point, you should be able to realize, hey, maybe the freaking crowd is right. Maybe they know what they're talking about a little bit. And I myself have been watching wrestling since I was 3 years old, and I've been fascinated with it for a very long time, but I just think Roman Reigns isn't the direction the company needs to go. And how many damn pushes are you gonna give one guy? Now, granted, the match was an excellent match, but how many times does one person really realistically have to do their quote finishing move or moves to get the job done? It's ridiculous. I'm not the only one in the audience, but I almost to a T predicted every kick out. Now, granted, I thought the Superman punch at the end was a little weak, and he definitely could have kicked out of that one as well. But since the plan is to give him the quote torch, he ended up winning the match. That's not the direction I would go. And I also want to point out, I know that Cena doesn't get, it's about 50-50 with his, whether or not the crowd likes him or not. But when you think about how many freaking superstars the guy's been asked to put over, and it takes two to perform a good match, and when you look at his losses and even his wins, every match is, I'm not saying they're the greatest matches ever, and everybody has a flubs one thing or another up every now and again, but the guy's matches are, for the most part, very impressive. And he really can cut a promo, some of his promos. Now, I'm not going to put him on the level of like Ric Flair or Dusty Rhodes or nothing, but his promos are as honest as you can be, given the PG era that we're in. His promos are just, sometimes that's the best part of the show, is to see John Cena cut a promo on somebody or endorse somebody. That's the best part of the show. And yes, I am a huge Cena fan. Don't have any merchandise to prove it, but that's because it's too fucking expensive. But that's a whole nother video. But I just think Cena does not get the respect that he deserves, and he's earned over 15 years. And people call him a part-timer. Well, he's a part-timer because he has the ability to connect with a wide audience, and that's all you need. That's all you need to do is be able to connect. And Roman Reigns will never, I don't care if he takes overdoses on charisma pills or not, he will not be able to connect with the audience because he's boring as fuck. It's like putting sandpaper on your ass. It's boring. It's painful to watch. He misses spots. He doesn't, like, that one spear that he did last night on 2 tables, he probably hurt himself worse than Cena, because he fucking drove his head into the fucking announce table. It's just ridiculous how many pushes this guy gets. And so I don't know what to think. And there's a couple more matches I want to mention before I get going here. But the next match I'm going to mention is the Raw Tag Team title match. Anyways, I knew this match was going to be good, but I never imagined it would have a little bit of on the edge of your seat moments, a little bit of, man, that's not what I'm trying to say, but it just had a little bit of everything, and it was unbelievable the fact that Cesaro could continue a match missing 3 teeth when he bounced his mouth off the ring post. And the other thing I want to say about the match, besides it being amazing and being possibly the match of the year of any kind, but a little bit of blood goes a long ways, because as someone once said, and well, I'll just go ahead and say it, as Taz once said, and said on numerous occasions, this isn't fucking ballet. Now, he didn't swear when he said it, but this isn't fucking ballet. And I think a little bit of blood from time to time would make these matches that much more believable, and not make you think that these two will just go to the nearest bar when the show is over and have a beer, even though they're a baby face and a heel. It just doesn't get any better than that. I thought that the best part of the match was when, and the most unbelievable part of the match was when Seth Rollins went for a Hurricane Rana, and he got power bombed onto Dean Ambrose, and somehow, some way, he found a way to kick out. Now, whether anybody likes to mention this or not, the ref has a little bit to do with who wins and who loses based on how fast or slow that he counts. Now, the cadence is the same most of the time, but if you've watched as many matches as I have, you can definitely tell when a referee has to finish the match versus the early parts of the match. The cadence does change a little bit, but that match was amazing. And if that doesn't satisfy the people that think there needs to be more blood in wrestling, I don't know what other examples there is out there to give you, because that was a great freaking match. And lastly, I want to talk about the main event a little bit. I thought it was very lackluster, considering the amount of build-up between the two superstars, and considering how dominant Strowman was leading up to this match. I feel like all that was for. There's no point to build it up like that if you're not going to have the guy put the title on the guy when he does about as good as you can do, versus somebody that's so boring in Brock Lesnar and predictable. You know what he's going to do every fucking match. He doesn't vary it up at all. And when he gets on the outside of the ring, he really overemphasizes that when he gets hit in like the kidneys and stuff, he oversells that shit like no one I've ever seen. A big tough guy gets hit a little bit in the kidneys and he acts like he just got shot by a sniper. It's ridiculous how you can put the title on somebody that's that fucking boring. Now, I'm not saying his talent isn't phenomenal and he's one of the most unbelievably powerful wrestlers that I've ever seen. But, and this is another thing, for a guy that's that powerful and it has that much toughness, so he says, why does he need a fucking mouthpiece? I don't get that. Why can't he fucking just talk for himself? I'm not saying Paul Heyman isn't a good talker, because he cuts a very good promo. He sells his clients very well, and he's very believable. But for a guy that's that big and tough and supposedly badass, why can't he just talk for himself? Did he forget how to fucking talk when the only thing he says for 6 months is Suplex City, bitch? It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. No, I'm not saying certain wrestlers shouldn't have managers, but it's ridiculous. The guy's big and tough and can't man up enough to fucking get on the microphone and talk for himself. That's fucking dumb. I don't get it at all. And somebody was going to have to explain it to me, but it's just ridiculous. For that amount of build-up, the match was fucking dumb. Especially given the fact that 2/3 of the match was dominated by fucking Braun Strowman. It's ridiculous for the amount of work that you put into the build-up of a match, and that's the end product. It's like ordering steak and getting dog shit put on your plate. It's fucking stupid. It makes no sense, especially since most people know, especially if you read the dirt sheets in wrestling, he's gonna be off TV for 4 months. How are you gonna fucking represent your title for those 4 months? That's fucking stupid. What the fuck is wrong with these people? It's just dumb. Now, granted, it was a relatively, all in all, it was a good freaking pay-per-view, but that was the dumbest main event for all that build-up. That's what we get. Are you fucking kidding me? For all that fucking build-up between those two monsters, you get like a 5-minute match. Now, I don't have the official time by any means, but for all that build-up and all that fucking hoopla and all that talking shit and all that domination by Braun Strowman, and you give us that. That's fucking dumb. It's just fucking stupid. It makes no goddamn sense. Especially for a guy that has proven, now granted his mic skills are a little, actually they're pretty bad still, but you can definitely work on that. How much does a monster have to really talk? Now granted, a beast shouldn't talk much either. His actions should do most of the talking, but it's just fucking stupid. For all that fucking build-up, and everybody in the building pretty much thought that Braun Strowman would dominate that match, and he did. And you reward the guy for taking, by having him take, not sure how many F5s, if he took more than one, I can't remember, but that was the weakest fucking main event I've seen in a long, long time. There's good main events here and there, especially in WWE nowadays, but that was a horrible main event given all the build-up. That's just fucking stupid. That's about all I have for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video and leave me a comment down below. And it would be a huge favor to me if you guys could give me some suggestions on what you'd like to discuss on future episodes. So if you can leave me a comment or give the video a thumbs up for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. Have a good evening, guys.